Oh, baby, welcome, students of South Harmon. This is Cody Carpentier. I'm Matty Kiwoom. This is The Hurdle, your new Tuesday night stream every single Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Get ready, get buckled up. This is our intro episode. We're not live today because Cody is boots on the ground at SEC Media Day. That's the type of intel you get from my boy Cody, boots on the ground. How is it down there in Dallas, Tejas?
Oh, it's a little warm. It's a little warm down here in Dallas, Texas. But we're here day 2 SEC Media Day. I'm here with Orange Bloods covering some Texas stuff and all SEC. It's pretty fun. It's pretty enjoyable, warm, and you're learning a lot about the SEC and kind of how everything rolls. Pretty similar to the NFL and how they want to kind of roll things similar to the NFL. People are talking, like Lane Kiffin specifically, talking about transfer portal being like free agency, talking about the salary cap. And then when we just listened to the rules officiant this morning, and he was kind of talking us through 2-minute timeouts, talking us through using the tablets on the sidelines. Everything is so like in line with what the NFL is doing right now. So it's a lot of information coming out here at the SEC Media Day. But yeah, we're here, episode 1 on the South Harmon channel. We did 84 over on the Executives of Fantasy Football YouTube channel. Now we're here Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. From here on out on the South Harmon YouTube channel. So stay tuned in, stay tapped in, Matty Cuban.
Yeah, I'm beyond excited to make the move over here to South Harmon. Big days are ahead. Exciting times are going to be, coming quickly. So I just want to take this time, Cody, since, you're boots on the ground. We're not going fully live. The show will be a live show because we want to interact with the South Harmon community, the best community in fantasy football, in our opinion. But this is just to let everybody know what they're going to be getting with the hurdle. So, Cody, talk about what you're going to be doing over here now at South Harmon. What can they expect from Mr. Carpentier and how that ties into the hurdle?
Well, I think there's a couple more announcements that are going to be coming out the next week or two as it pertains to South Harmon and kind of what our vision is, what our goals are. Like, it's not just going to continue to be what we did at the Executive. It's not just going to continue to be what South Harmon has been. Things are going to be adjusting as far as the angle at which the 4 of us take. Adam,
Yep.
Mike, yourself, myself. Me specifically, I'm going to be angling more towards the Devy aspect of it, the college football fantasy aspect of it, the college football draft aspect of everything. I know you're going to be looking at the redraft part. I know Adam's going to be doing Dynasty, and Mike might have the best. He might have the best situation of all. I know he's going to be doing the stream here soon. So we're going to be hitting on 4 different angles, trying to cover every basis of the fantasy football space, along with the NFL draft, Devy, all these different angles that people are just asking for and wanting to consume. So that's going to be my angle. I'm not going to stop doing Dynasty because I've still, of course, we retired the Executives last week. We merged it with South Harmon. We still got emails. Hey, what's your Dynasty top 350? And I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know if I'm going to be posting it or not, but definitely not done playing, Matty.
Of course. No, we're all going to be working, collabing, and because football intertwines through every aspect of the game that you play, whether it be redraft seasonally, whether it be best ball stuff, Dynasty, it all weaves together. So, of course, we're going to collab. Of course, we're going to work together, and it's going to be a good thing. And luckily for me, as the guy who will be taking on more of the redraft role, it's kind of going back to my roots. I'm very excited about this. But before I get into what I'm going to be doing, I got to say, Cody made the change over to South Harmon, and he was anointed by an angel. This guy's gleaming right now by the light of God himself, looking like a
dude. I can't even explain to you. If I turn this camera about 20 degrees, you can't see my face. They got us lined up here against this wall that is,
the sun,
50 yards long and about 40 feet high, 30 feet high. And it's just pure glass. And of course, the sun rises over here, and it's almost unbearable as far as producing content that's consumable from a visual standpoint.
Yeah, of course. And you're right in there. You're in the bullpen. You're in the thick of SEC Media Day. It's very, very exciting. But like I said, I'll be doing seasonal stuff, rankings, weekly rankings. There it is. There it is, Radio Row from SEC Media Day, folks. That's what you're getting here when you tune into the Hurdle each and every Tuesday, because our main job at the Hurdle is to get you to the next set of football. We're trying to get you through these days and during the regular season as football kicks off. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot of redraft stuff. You can look for rankings, the game plan, all that stuff will be here. Be looking for, we'll be doing redraft, a lot of redraft stuff here.
Maddie, I've been doing a lot of simulations on these mock drafts for redraft, and I know you're going to be based on redraft right now. And I'm getting a ton of a couple of players, and we're going to talk a little bit of fantasy today. I know we're not going to talk too much; it's not going to be that long of a show, but I want to ask you a couple of questions. Devonta Smith, all right. AJ Brown's 27, about to be 28. Devonta Smith is about 25, about to be 26. And Brown's been the alpha in this offense, 1,300 yards, 1,350, 7 touchdowns. But Devonta Smith wasn't far behind him this past year, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. And the targets aren't far apart. I think Brown had about 28 more targets than Smith did.
Yep.
I love where Devonta Smith is coming off right now in drafts, round 4, round 5, and redraft. You can get him comfortably as your wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 on these rosters, depending on how you begin your builds. And I asked Alex the same question on Sirius this weekend. SiriusXM Channel 87 every Saturday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch us over there. I asked him the same question of Devonta Smith v. A.J. Brown. The sports books had the total for Devonta Smith right around 1,050, 1,100, 950. Brown about that 1,300-yard mark. What are the odds that Devonta Smith can eclipse the A.J. Brown as the, not alpha, but the leading receiver in Philadelphia? Again, same touchdowns last year, just a couple hundred yards behind him. Now with Kellen Moore, exposing downfield a little bit more. Jalen Hurts is able to grow as a passer downfield. He's been able to grow every single year of his career, dating back to that first year at Alabama, to Oklahoma, to the NFL. He's gotten better and better every single season. Now with Kellen Moore, does that deep ball unlock Devonta Smith to become that leading receiver in Philly?
No. I don't think you can comfortably or even safely.
You're not drafting Devonta Smith over A.J. Brown, but the value you're getting.
Well, see, these are two different questions here, my friend. You're asking me, what do I think the chances are that he eclipses A.J. Brown as the leading receiver? I think those chances are below 30%. I do not see that happening. But that does not make me an anti-Devonta Smith guy. I got, there's videos coming out. My solo videos for South Harmon will be out and about. My first one will have dropped earlier today. My one that's coming out next week is using underdog ADP to kind of put together trends, these tips as you go into redraft. And what I'm coming to find out is Devonta Smith is going in the range where I'm absolutely attacking wide receiver there in the 4th round. So I'm absolutely trying to pick him up. If you could get, your Amon-Ra in round 1, Jalen Waddle in round 3, and Devonta Smith in round 4, those are the builds I'm chasing because I do think Devonta Smith has a lot of fantasy upside. He's going in that sweet range. He's going around other names like Tank Dell. Like, give me Slim Reaper with Tank Dell all day long. And then when you get Devonta Smith versus Cooper Kupp, I think you can kind of pick and choose your poison in a redraft format, but I like the Devonta Smith upside. I love him in this offense with Kellen Moore, with Jalen Hurts. I see both guys being 1,000-yard receivers, but if A.J. Brown's healthy, he's still the alpha. He just has the skill set. And we've seen Devonta Smith without A.J. Brown, and it looks like he succeeds more with having A.J. Brown on the field in terms of consistency through a course of a season. So I think he'd prefer it. I don't think he outproduces A.J. Brown, but give me the 3-round discount in terms of if I want a wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm taking Slim Reaper all day long, given the 3-round discount.
Well, I don't know if you have any thoughts on redraft or not, but one more question that I had, one more thought that I had, is Derrick Henry's ADP right now. Where you're continually getting a Derrick Henry where Keaton Mitchell's going to miss the first at least month of the season. Again, he's recovering from ACL. Derrick Henry with Lamar Jackson. Rasheed Ali is behind him. Like, it's not exactly a dense backfield. Never has a dense backfield been able to slow Derrick Henry down since DeMarco Murray was with him the first couple of years in the NFL. But Derrick Henry at the end of round 3. This ADP. In standard, it's about, I think, pick 24. In PPR, it's about pick 35. Where do you believe this Derrick Henry ADP finishes when we're getting to, say, September 1st?
We've seen so much helium on Derrick Henry already. I've seen him go in the 2nd round on multiple mocks that we're trying to do, getting some ADP data, getting some trends under our belt. He's already creeping up. I think he settles firmly into round 2. Having said all that, if you want to go with your hero RB in seasonal, I am all for Derrick Henry in round 2. One thing that I will give a little sneak peek from a video you'll see a week from now, something I have discovered is you want a top 8 pick in fantasy in seasonal. That's the range where you want to be to get one of those top 8 players. So if you want to take, let's say, a Jamar Chase who happens to fall to 106, and on the wraparound you want to take Derrick Henry in the second, I'm all for it, because that wide receiver chunk round, say 3 through 6, 7 even, it's nice. I like it a lot. I think that the 0 RB guys are not even going to target Derrick Henry. That's fine. But if you want to make Derrick Henry your hero RB in seasonal formats, hell yes. Absolutely. Like you said, what has stopped this guy before? He's built different, and now he is going to be in an offense where defenses cannot just stack the box. If you crash the box and try to, get a head start on the king, Lamar's tucking that baby, and he's up the sideline for 50. This is going to be a great offense. He's proven to be pretty healthy over the course of his career. Of course, he's had bang-ups. He's a running back. It's going to happen. But if you want to invest in Derrick Henry in round 2, I don't think any one of us can predict with any kind of certainty that he doesn't outproduce the Saquon Barkleys, the Jonathan Taylors, the Jahmyr Gibbses that he's going around. So give me Derrick Henry in the second round. I'm all for him being that hero running back in that build.
All right, I'm going to run a simulation right now, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Again, I'm going to use the simulation over at Fantasy Pros. This is going to be a 15-round. It's going to be very quickly. 15-round, 12-team PPR mock draft. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 receiver, 1 tight end, 2 backs, and a couple of bench spots here. So we're going to pick from the 101 just for the hell of it, because why not? We're going to take Christian McCaffrey 101. Then at the 2-3 turn, Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, back-to-back. Again, we're talking PPR, so now you have 3 running backs from the jump. Bang, robust. McCaffrey, Achane, and Henry. You come back at the 4-5 turn, you get Devonta Smith, and you get Tank Dell. So Devonta Smith is your wide receiver 1, Tank Dell is your wide receiver 2. You come back at the 6-7 turn, you get Dalton Kincaid, and you get Zach Moss. Now you have 4 running backs. You got 2 receivers, Devonta Smith, Tank Dell. You come back at the 8-9 turn, Christian Watson and Zeke Elliott. No first yet. In round 10, you get Jalen Wright. We're in 11, Curtis Samuel. And now the quarterback's going to come through. We get a Brock Purdy here at round 12. You get Jerry Jeudy. And we have 1 roster spot left, and we'll go Tyron Tracy. What do you think about that team here? So, like I said, you can get Derrick Henry at the 2-3 turn here with like 4 spots of ADP given to you. McCaffrey, Henry, Achane, Zach Moss, Devonta Smith, Tank Dell, Kincaid, Brock Purdy, Christian Watson, Curtis Samuel, Jerry Jeudy. What do you think of that roster?
Totally okay with the Christian McCaffrey. I think, when you look at his warp last year, you looked at his warp over the course of his career, he's an absolute difference maker. But if you're going to go Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, going Devon Achane is about as dumb a pick as you could possibly make. Because now, look, if there is an injury to a Christian McCaffrey or a Derrick Henry, Devon Achane slides right in, but then you're going to get swamp donkeyed in terms of versus the opposing wide receivers. I don't think Devontae Smith brings enough punch. I also think if you're going to go double running backs, you have to go high-end tight end. You cannot have high variability at tight end if you want to win. I love the Brock Purdy. He's a difference maker in terms of warp according to last year's numbers. So there's a bit of a cliff there. I don't see him falling that far. I see him more in the 8-9 range when push comes to shove. Either way, love the pick there with Purdy. But yeah, if you're going to double tap running backs, you need to now go 3 receivers in a row, because of those 3, you need to cash in. I would recommend, if you're going to go double running backs, I don't hate those guys. You're going to be you're going to wreak havoc. You're going to be a straight motherfucker in this league at running back, because I do believe in both of those guys' health profile. So I'm not expecting injuries. Of course, it's football. But in this range, you need to make sure that you get yourself a Mike Evans, a Malik Neighbors. You need to make sure you can
Let me explain to you who's available.
Someone that ascends.
Pick one of these guys. Who's available here? Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Debo, Brandon Ayuk. Those are the guys that went off after that 3rd running back.
Well, I'm taking every single one of those receivers over A-Chain in this build. I'm taking them probably in terms of in general. You know my thoughts on A-Chain going into this year, but who I would pick in that grouping, I'm going Mike Evans. If you look at his 2023 warp, it was a difference maker in terms of this format. Big time producer has yet to really look at a fall off. And if you're going McCaffrey, Henry, you're going safety with upside. That seems exactly like Mike Evans this year.
I think that's the one mistake we made, right? The receiver position was a little soft, having wide receiver 3 Christian Watson, wide receiver 4 Curtis Samuel. If you were able to turn Evans into that wide receiver 1 instead of Devonta Smith, it's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, it's a different conversation. I will say this to everyone's listening over here, South Harmon. First of all, shout out to you for checking out the inaugural episode of The Hurdle here on South Harmon's YouTube channel. But I will say is this. There are going to be some very ugly builds that are going to dominate your redraft leagues. Don't be afraid of ugly. This ain't a sexy contest. This isn't French Fashion Week. This is the fantasy football streets. These are redraft seasonal formats. Don't worry about sex appeal, okay? Don't worry about it. There are going to be some ugly builds that smash.
Love it. There it is. What do you got? When's your video coming out this week?
So my first video here should have dropped this afternoon, and then it'll come out every Tuesday afternoon going forward. This week, we're talking about players to target and redraft. Next week, like I said, preview, we're using underdog ADP to try to find some trends and get advantages for our seasonal drafts that are just around the corner. So you can make sure you find that out. And then starting August 1st, I kind of teased at the beginning. I'm not going to repeat it. Go back to the beginning if you want to hear what I said. But my show here at South Harmon will be kicking off as of August 1st or whatever that week is. I think it's August 3rd will be the first one. But announcement will be coming soon.
Yeah, many more announcements. Like we said, this thing officially launched literally yesterday. So it's going to be some more things that come out. You got to be tapped in over at southharmon.com. You got to be tapped in on the Patreon. And you got to join the Discord. To join the Discord, you got to be tapped in over on the website and on the Patreon. Like I said before, you'll get those updates. You'll know when we're going live. You know when we're doing shows. My solo show is going to come out on Thursday. We'll be talking about Heisman change odds, some power ratings in college, and among other things. But we'll be back next week live going forward. But today we couldn't fix it in live, so we pre-recorded. And we appreciate you guys all tuning in, tapping in for episode 1 here in South Harmon. Again, episode 85 overall. We appreciate you guys, and we love you.
Peace.